as always, Balla is incredibly good at knowing the ins and outs of every single one of these players. It's crazy to see the level of knowledge that he's acquired after casting Fortnite.
Yeah, and just want to give a huge shout out to Balla individually too. Somebody who I remember his pin tweet is still like, hey, I'm going full time, guys, want to do this content stuff. And in particular, caught my eye. Thought he was very good with his analysis and his knowledge and study of the game. Somebody who comes from a background of breaking down games and willing to take it to another level. So doing that and being very good at it just, makes me really happy to see, because like other people who share that passion for the game, it's super interesting to go down, and just seeing him continue to do that on this stage, great. But Pika continuing to do that on this stage is even better, drilling that player out of the air.
Sitting up top here in this little 1x1, a number of kind of separated builds. I think at this point in the game, you have 23 left. You don't often in the maybe the more we'll say the higher skill. I'm not even sure how to word this without probably offending a majority of people watching. But you don't often see this low number of players in competitive Fortnite this late in the game, and you have a number of builds out here that are very distant from any other structure. So you're going to have people that have to make long-distance rotations either by running or doing exactly what Persecute is doing, literally reading my mind and utilizing either the Rift to Go or the launch pad. Because if you have to rotate, and you're in the open, you have to burn through your materials. It's only got 120 builds left. I say only, and that's so close to the cap. But still, when it comes down to it, you're going to go through those real quick if you're exposed. Or you utilize a movement mechanic, which is what Persecute decided to do.
Yep, and then he positioned himself towards another launch pad, so when the next circle moves, he'll be able to use that without having to commit to his Rift to Go. But finds himself in an awkward spot, trying to drop these players down, and he kicks Gorilla with it. Down? One player caught himself in the tree, but Gorilla, that should have been you, man. You didn't catch yourself in the tree. What's up with that? Not doing your best Tarzan impression, but Persecute showing himself to be a destructive force, dropping another player down, gets a tick of fall damage, but nothing more for his efforts. But Persecute, player from kind of that Bloom friend group. We've seen Falconer already qualify. Just a group of players who decided to take practice into their own hands, and he's going to take his fate into the own hands, taking down Immortal Darius, 22. Guys named Darius not having good luck on this cast so far.
Oh, and now they're all looking for your Twitter to send you a rude message. Meanwhile, it's funny, I find it interesting that you called specifically that he landed next to that launch pad, dropped down onto it, and caught a player mid-movement on his way to it.
Yeah, as we talked about, those community launch pads or recycled utility, players gravitate towards it, but that also means you can set up traps. In fact, ended up seeing a clip earlier. Ninja put down a launch pad and then put a trap right next to it, and right after he rotated, you heard shink and saw the elimination appear. So sometimes you can set up some of those Galaxy brain plays, but 0100, 0001, 0111, picking up the elim there onto Rich AFN, and that's the only time I'm going to say that name.
It's a sneeze of numbers, but it still counts. There's still a player, and they're still in this game. Sundown rotating in from above. 11 left. Very close to pushing for that next placement point advantage. Edgey and Barl in a box together. Edgey comes out on top, and that one you hear the trap placement. Water Shoe all the way in the bottom. Harrian's in a box. Looks like picking up a couple minis there. Water Shoe gets beamed on rotation for that community launch pad. 8 players left. You have to pickaxe their way through some of these metal builds. They do not own all the services, although now I believe they do. That heavy sniper, you see him swapping back to it. I feel like this robot is pushing to knock on somebody's 1x1 here in just a second. Goes for the shot, removes that wall, but not fast enough on the swap. And the shots with that suppressed AR. Yeah, it might be legendary, but it's not a guarantee,
No guarantee at all. Now getting the far side of the circle, but the zone immediately resets to go to the other direction. So with that redeploy, trying to get there, but no, bonks his feet. Super unfortunate. Your whole capsule has to clear. So now in a slightly awkward position, as we talked about having to work back through those builds, Harrians is going to run straight into our binary code friend and get taken down, but there's 2 dynamite right above you.
First one goes off. The second one actually does deal damage. 3 eliminations. Sitting down at the bottom of this build. 37 shield, no heals remaining, and only 17 builds. Not in a great spot, but inside the safe zone. Looks for the shot, and the player rotating out. Whiffs it, but the edit was clean. Just missed the shot on it. A little bit. Oh my! What a prize! Up to 48 builds. That much material sitting out there, plus the minis and the elimination. Jude Legacy goes down and puts it at 3 left.
That awareness was fantastic right there. Able to not only get the mats, but then immediately come out and be able to hit the pump flick. And now he's on ultimate high with no one even close to him. You have the binary code friend in the top right, Edgey in the bottom right, and then Persecute popping the slurp and getting a big heal off. So shortly, we're going to be back in this in terms of effective HP, but this is so close on all the levels. Persecute taking a shot. Binary trying to drop down and get the reload in on the heavy side before Persecute ends up finishing off Heavy. Traps arm and Edgey gets that one by the skin of his chinny chin. Will he be able to find Binary? He's looking for it. He does! He does! He got it with 3 HP left. FlyQuest Edgey picks up the victory royale.